Thank you and welcome to our holiday concert. First, a few things before we get started. First of all, at our concerts, I want us to practice, especially our students, good concert etiquette. Our students have worked incredibly hard to prepare this program for you. So if you would help us in refraining from conversation during performance or getting up and walking around. And I've talked to the students, the time that it is appropriate to get up and move is between groups. But we are professionally recording this concert, and CDs are available for purchase here in the back corner. They are $16 for CDs, and folks, these microphones pick up everything. You have a little ding on your phone, and actually we'd ask that you turn your cell phones off, even texting, because we want you to enjoy the music that these kids are performing for you. So if you would turn your phones off, these mics are super, super hot. They pick up every little noise in the gym, and we want to record a great CD that you can listen to later. First in our program is our awesome jazz ensemble. We practice once a week, and we have a few guests with us tonight. One is Professor Brian Hogg, who is the Professor of Jazz Studies at Northern Kentucky University. He and I have known each other for a long time. Have worked together, hiding your age, have worked together for a long time, and he is an amazing saxophonist, has recorded commercials, played commercially. He's brought a few of his colleagues with him to play for us, and then also on guitar is a former student of mine from Connor Middle, who's a senior in high school. He is going to Louisville next year. Did you tell me you were going to be like a brain surgeon or something like that? Something like that. And he's going to play guitar for us tonight. So without further ado, we'll talk a little bit more about jazz as we get going. But first on our program, this is the Kings of Swing and the Twin Hollow Middle School Jazz Band.
And if you don't like it, you can clap too. How's everybody doing? We good? It's a pleasure for us to be here. Before I blah a little bit, he likes to give, wants me to give the pep talk of the century here. But before I get into all that, I want to tell you a little bit about some of my colleagues. I remember Alex when he was like this tall, which means I'm old. And he's going to Louisville not for music, so get it in KU. Anyway, moving right along. Alex sounds great. It's great to see you, and you sound great. On piano, we have Josh Jessen, who's been on tour for how many years now? About 2 years. He's been touring the Eastern Seaboard and up in Canada with a group, and I forgot the name, sorry. The Hunter Tones from Brooklyn. I can hear you Googling now. Okay, and I've known Josh for several years, so it's been a pleasure to have him out with us tonight. Mr. Watson, Tim Watson on bass. He protects and serves the greater Cincinnati area as a police officer. So let's hear it with Mr. Watson. I knew him before he was a police officer, but I've been playing music with Mr. Watson for a number of years at CCM, and then after, he's one of the top bass players in the region, and also protects and serves. So I'm supposed to tell you a little bit about me, I guess, now. I can remember vaguely back in 1876 when I was in middle school. I was a very skinny, awkward kid. I know it's hard for you to believe. So I got into music kind of by accident, and I didn't have a whole lot of friends, so through that I kind of made some friends. In the situation I grew up, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, but I grew up in a small little part of middle Tennessee, about 10,000 people. My entire high school probably would have, well, my middle school would have definitely fit in this room. Anyway, I played saxophone, and it's because of music, and I know a lot of the cats in here are going to end up going and being doctors and lawyers and marketers and this and that and the other, and do you proud. It's because of music. We didn't have a lot of money in my family, so it's because of music that I was the first one in my entire family to go to college. It's because of music that I was able to do that, and also through music. Now I know the parents are going, don't tell my kids that. We do not want them to go into music. Well, a couple of you are. Thank you. My dad would disagree, my mom would agree. Anyway, it's because of music that not only was I able to afford to go to college, but I've been all over the world playing music. North Africa, South Africa, France, Spain, Canada, Mexico, the UK, and now I'm here at Twin Awful Middle School, which is awesome for me. People ask me, what's it like playing, at a middle school when you've played all over the world? I said, I prefer to be near home. I love playing with these young musicians. It revitalizes us. We were talking about how cool this was. Now, Josh is young enough to remember. Back when I was in middle school, we had slate and we wrote with chalk. Who's with me? Anybody? And I was so poor we had to pass the one piece of chalk around. We had to share it, you know what I mean? And then if you wanted to get somebody back, you just wipe the slate clean. But anyway, I want to thank all of you for doing something that is incredibly difficult in these times, and that's supporting live music. And for supporting your kids, okay? As much as my old man hated the fact that I went into music, I can remember I was 40 years old. Guess how old I am now. I was 40 years old, and my old man, no, not 40, how old am I? I was 35 years old, which is still old, and I was in North Africa, and I was playing 40 gigs a month at that time. I had a 1,300 square meter apartment, 2 maids, and that was for the jazz guys. And my dad still asked me, he said, son, when are you going to grow up and get a real job? Anyway, so parents, it is possible. Any of you guys want to go on music? Don't be afraid. It's fun. We had a great time. I worked very hard to be able to do what I do. It is possible. But one thing I want you to remember, if you don't go into music, still be a musician. And what does that mean? We don't really expect all of you to be musicians. We expect you to be supporters of music. That's different. So, We love you, and these cats sound great, so I'm going to quit blah blah. And wait, 1 second. I do have to say something about this guy. Come here. Now, I have been fortunate over the years to work, yes, we're going to rock back and forth, sing Kumbaya, ready? I've been fortunate to work with a lot of different groups all over the world, actually, young students and teachers all over the world. If I would have had the opportunity to have a musical instructor like this when I was younger, I can't tell you where I'd be. I was pretty much self-taught, but it's been a real joy. I can't tell you how lucky your students are and you are to have an instructor like this. Not only is he a great educator, which means he's very intelligent and he knows the right things to say to get what you're about to hear, these students play as well as they do, but he actually cares. He cares about your students, about your kids. He cares, right? And that is a rarity anymore, yeah? He actually cares. So, if Mr. Daughters asked me to go anywhere and perform with any group, I would do it, just because I enjoy seeing what he does and how his students respond. And on behalf of me and all of us, to have great educators like this, we'd like to give you a round of applause. He did not pay me to say that. Anyway, we're going to continue now with some other tune that I've got to read music to. What can I do with this? You started that. All right.
So, behind me, I teach a guitar class in the mornings, very first class I teach of the day. And we have been spending the whole semester learning guitar. And these guys volunteered to play on the concert tonight. It wasn't required, completely voluntary. And after that, a lot of them are in a little bit of a panic right now. They got really nervous, but I think they're going to be fine. We're going to play 4 songs for you, and then we have a guest soloist midway through. So, without further ado, you ready? Yes? This is our guitar ensemble. That was Jolly Old St. Nick. And for most of these guys, this is the first time ever playing in a concert in their life, which is really cool. So we started with most of them not ever having touched a guitar. And we started learning individual notes on the guitar, then we started learning strum patterns. A few of my students have advanced to finger picking. Those of you who are guitarists or fingerstyle know what I'm talking about. And so we have a few of the kids who are strumming along with chords and others playing individual notes. So next on our program, O Come On, or as Hannah says, O Come Y'all Faithful. Here we go. I know, right? They're laughing because they're so nervous, but this is the best they've ever played. They sound great. They sound fantastic. All right, so Nick, one of the things that I try to do is, and the band kids will tell you, I've had a lot of students, former students, who are music majors, a lot of them all over the country, who have come home for winter break. gosh, how many, 7 or 8 people have been in to play for you all in the last few weeks. And so one of the things I wanted to do on the concert was give my students a chance to see former students or friends or colleagues perform in a setting like this, because that's one of the ways they learn, is by seeing other professionals do this. So for the guitar students, I know I'm just a mess, I know. For the guitar students, Michael Cotton, who is a friend of mine, plays guitar, acoustic guitar professionally, and is going to play. Any of you guitarists will know the name Andy McKee, one of the best guitarists in the world, and the song that Mr. Cotton is going to play is called Dreamcatcher. And guitar students, all of you saw him play earlier with multiple fingers on both hands, so we hope you enjoy this one. I'll try not to hit it as I play. Morgan Bay, who is the brother of one of our 8th graders who just moved in to Twin Hawthorne this year. Morgan is a junior, senior, sophomore? Sophomore. He's accounting and music. Today, he's accounting and music performance at the University of Kentucky. This is Morgan Bay. Sitting next to him, they look somewhat alike because they're brothers. And this is Spencer Bay playing for Torrance. Spencer is a freshman at Rice University in Houston, Texas. Rice is one of the best music schools in the United States, and they take one freshman French horn student a year. And Spencer, I think we would qualify him as one of the best collegiate French horn players in the country. Spencer Bay. Next is Mr. Matt Phillips. Mr. Phillips is the band director at Pendleton County High School. He's a good friend of mine, plays in the Fillmore Wind Band, is an awesome trombone player, just an all-around great guy, and he's doing it for free, so, you know, that's why he's there. So, Mr. Matt Phillips. And Mr. Cotton on trumpet, Jack of many trades. He's a composer, arranger, actually just won a big composition contest, plays trumpet equally as well as he does guitar, and is just finished his last undergraduate class as a music major at the University of Kentucky, Mr. Michael Cotton. So we're going to play 2 short, slow tunes for you. One is Away in a Manger. The second is the First Noel. We're trying to keep it Christmassy. And then we're going to do sort of a jazzy version of Go Tell It on the Mountain.
concert before like this at all, for any school, middle school, high school, like really college or anything, where you get to have a guitar ensemble, guest artists playing, a jazz band, I mean, the concert bands are going to play, and it's going to be wonderful. I don't think you all realize just how special of an opportunity this is for the students and everyone. So I would like to really just give Mr. Dodge one round of applause. It's called Pop Culture Medley Duet, and some composer, a trumpet player, which right there that tells you it's a bad idea, decided to put a ton of melodies together. We got the 20th Century Fox theme, Lady Gaga, E.T., The Grinch, Bohemian Rhapsody, the He-Man theme song for some of you out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So listen and try to see how many different themes you can recognize.